Matt Walsh did a live event, and a couple of clips from this event went viral because whenever Matt Walsh interacts with the audience, there's normally some people like this, some haters, some people who want to debate him, whatever the case is, and he always ends up destroying him. I want to see him do more and more live events as time goes on. I hope this stuff never stops. I hope he never stops interacting with people in the audience, people that paid to get in there, whatever the case may be, because I love whenever he gets into debates like this, especially when it seems like it's at least semi good faith coming from the person in the audience. Obviously, I think they're completely wrong, and Matt Walsh proves that in this clip. He absolutely obliterates them. But let's check out this clip and the reactions from people like Tim Pool, Rob Schneider, and some other ones. Here's a tweet from Matt Walsh. It says, a trans EMT tried to use his medical training to prove that sex is not binary. He ran into trouble whenever I asked him how he'd respond to a patient with a penis who claims he's having a miscarriage. And this entire clip right here is just pure gold. And it's crazy how whenever a person like this, who's on the right, this trans EMT person, whenever they go and they go in person, in front of an audience and to a real person, speak these talking points, how ridiculous they sound. Whenever these talking points aren't on Twitter, obviously to me and probably to you watching this video, it sounds absolutely ridiculous on Twitter as well. But whenever you put them in front of a camera, in front of an audience, talking to a real life person, it sounds 100 times more ridiculous. And everything that Matt Walsh says just seems like basic common sense. It's crazy how that works whenever you get off of Twitter. Let's check this out.
How would you define a woman? Because you've asked other people up here to define how we would define a woman. How would you define a woman, Mr. Walsh?
An adult human female.
It's crazy to me how that nowadays is applause worthy. Just straight up saying what the definition of a woman is, a adult human female, gets an applause out of the crowd. That's crazy to me. We're in the end times, man. We gotta be.
And how don't trans people, how doesn't a transgender woman fit that definition?
Female. Because they're not female. They have. You said that you are a biological male, correct?
I said I'm transgender. I might be intersex for all we know. About almost as many people in the world are transgender as intersex, and
well,
a lot of people don't know.
Well, but that's a different conversation. Intersex, that's a genetic anomaly, that's a medical condition.
Based on the giant bulging Adam's apple that I see here, I would assume that the answer to that question is a very simple yes, but they don't want to answer the question. They want to go off on some tangent about how there's just as many intersex people as there are trans women or whatever they were trying to say. Who gives a shit? You are a man. That's the question. That's all that matters.
And so that's a completely different conversation. That's also not a third gender. That's a genetic anomaly that occurs within the sex binary of male and female. What you're saying is that a quote-unquote trans woman is a female?
By the definitions I'm familiar with, yes.
So how would you define female?
Through my training in healthcare, there are several different categories for how we define sex. People bring up chromosomes. People also bring up hormone levels. People bring up all sorts of other categories. Lots of people don't fit neatly into a gender binary, even people we don't consider to be intersex. It's a complicated spectrum.
It's not complicated, but you also didn't define. So what is a woman? What is a female? What do these words mean?
It's complicated, and I know you're not going to like that.
That is the brainwashing. That is the propaganda that is pushed in college today and really all over social media. And I really think, and this is definitely a topic for another time, I think it's coming from outside places such as China and Russia. I think that's propaganda coming in through TikTok and through other social medias, just brainwashing people. The fact that you can ask someone like this, a trans person, what is a biological female? Not even what is a woman, what is a female? What is the definition of a female? And they say it's complicated. They can't even answer the question. That is brainwashing. That is a person being fully brainwashed to the point where they can't answer basic science questions when they are an EMT, when they've had probably extensive medical training to be an EMT, and they can't answer what a female is. I'm telling you, man, it's end times.
That answer, but that's because there are no simple answers in human biology.
Let me ask you a question.
You guys,
Can I ask you one last
hang
question?
on. Just let me finish.
I wonder if they would say the same thing if you asked them what a fish is. If you ask this person here who has extensive medical training, what is a fish? Do you think they would say, well, you're not going to like this answer, but the actual answer is very complicated. You know, humans, if they get the right surgeries, they can actually identify as a fish. So it's a very complicated. No, they wouldn't say any of that shit. It's just because they're brainwashed to think that men and women are interchangeable.
You guys like to bring up high school level biology classes a lot. I get that a lot. But people who go on to more complicated biology classes will talk about sex as a spectrum.
It's not. It's not.
Well, biological researchers would disagree with you.
Well, then they're full of shit, the ones that would say that. There are.
All right.
I just like how Matt Walsh, he's patient. You know, he lets this person talk. He lets them say their talking points. But then whenever the time comes where it gets too out of hand, when it gets too ridiculous, he's like, yeah, okay, well, they're full of shit if they do say that. Like, it doesn't matter what they have to say because they're also brainwashed. They're also just trying to push this propaganda forward. It doesn't matter if those scientific biological researchers would disagree because those people are idiots, regardless of if they're biological researchers or not.
There are male gametes and female gametes. Oh, I had one last question. I just have one. I have one quick. Can you come back for 1 second? Because this is an important question. You said you're an EMT.
Yes.
Okay, if you're responding to a health emergency. Biological male, somebody with a penis, is having a medical emergency, and they say to you, "I think I'm having a miscarriage." Would you check them to see if they're having a miscarriage? Would you consider that a possibility for them?
Look. No, but that's because some people don't have body parts. Doesn't mean they're not a woman.
Okay. Sounds like we've established there are some people who, in principle, can get pregnant, and there are some people who can't. So there's two categories, otherwise known as binary.
Lots of women can't get pregnant either.
Yeah, but they're still of the nature to get pregnant. The only
But
reason
they can't get pregnant.
Yes, but
truth matters, right?
It does. That's what I'm trying to explain to you.
Truth matters, and they can't get pregnant. That's the truth. So how are they still women?
Funny how he thinks that this is like the gotcha moment. Because some women can't get pregnant, therefore doesn't matter if you have the ability to, if you were born with the right body parts to get pregnant or not. It doesn't matter. You can be a man or a woman, regardless of what body parts you have or don't have. It's crazy how he thinks that this is the gotcha moment, and then Matt Walsh still continues to absolutely obliterate this argument because he's heard it a million times. He knows exactly how to respond to this, and in reality, like I said, when you get off Twitter, everything that he's about to say is just common sense. But these people, they've never heard this common sense before. They go to these woke colleges, these propaganda camps, and they come out like this on the right.
Because they are for the same reason that I can rightly say that human beings have two legs. And if a person is born with only one leg, that doesn't call into question the statement that human beings have two legs, okay? A person being born with one leg doesn't mean that now legs are on a spectrum and we can't say anything at all about how many legs a person has. Who knows? They could be a centipede. You know, they could have 100 legs. No, we know human beings have two legs. If a human is born without two legs, something went wrong. They were supposed to have that second leg. Something went wrong. If you meet a person on the street who only has one leg, maybe they had an accident. Maybe they were in war. Maybe something, maybe they were in a car accident. Maybe they had cancer. A leg was cut off. But you know that something went wrong because by their nature, they're supposed to have two legs. Same thing for a woman. A woman by her nature can get pregnant. A man by his nature never can. So if you meet a woman of childbearing age, say she's 28 years old, and she can't get pregnant, you know automatically that something has gone wrong. And she can go to the doctor and find out what that thing is, even if they can't fix it. So that proves that women by their nature can get pregnant because the simple fact that she can't shows you that there's something Wrong. This is what is known as the exception that proves the rule. Whereas if a male with a penis can't get pregnant, no doctor on earth is going to run tests to see what's wrong with it. Because they already know it's that he's a male, and there's only male and female, those who can get pregnant and those who can't. So,
like I said, absolutely great content, Matt Walsh interacting with his fans. And the ones that are the most entertaining are the ones like this, where the people who are asking the questions to people who are talking to Matt Walsh directly in person are the ones that disagree with them. Shout out to this person for being, pretty respectful. They weren't too disrespectful. They weren't screaming over Matt Walsh or anything like that, which I'm sure happens quite a bit. But it does make for a great clip whenever they are somewhat good faith, at least. I don't know if this person is well known or anything like that, but it seemed like they were good faith. It seemed like they were pretty respectful in this short 5-minute clip. So shout out to them. And also shout out to Matt Walsh for doing those types of things. I hope he never stops. Tim Pool reacted to this and said, wow. I think Tim Pool just likes to farm retweets and likes, to be honest. He quote tweets a lot of things with just one word, and he just absolutely farms the shit out of the tweets. But yeah, he reacted to that and said, wow. We also have Rob Schneider reacted to the Matt Walsh tweet as well. A discussion with questions that weren't needed 10 years ago. As words lose their meaning, society loses its ability to make sense of the world. And it's true. Like I said, it's crazy that Matt Walsh can just define what a woman is as an adult female, and he gets applauded by the audience. And this person, when asked what a biological female is, cannot answer. The trans EMT, when asked what a female is, cannot answer. They say, I know you're not going to like this, but it's complicated. It's really not complicated. Let me know what you guys think in the comments about what Matt Walsh had to say to this trans EMT that tried to call him out, that tried to have that little gotcha moment. Let me know what you guys think about the entire situation.